Noses are one of the most interesting facial features and for many the most difficult to draw. They change with expression, they look different at the slightest head tilt, and it's tough to shut off that icon our brain created to quickly recall what a nose is. There's a few ways to combat this. For some, the first is to understand the structure of a nose. Sometimes understanding the structure of our bodies helps us to understand how to draw it. To be honest, I mostly focus on drawing what I see. And in order to draw what I seek measurements and I seek the shapes within. So, for instance, this guy, we've been looking at him a little bit lately. Look at that nose. So, yeah, you can understand a little bit of what's happening here. He's got a very square shape in here, his nasal bone here, his brow bone's, quite severe, I guess. And then you can totally see this shape right here. You can see sort of the separation that happens under the structure of his nose. However, I didn't go through all of this in order to draw his nose. I simply looked at all the shapes within the nose. So by the shapes, I mean, this is a shape. There's all these little shapes here, right? This is a little shape. There's combinations of shapes, right? The whites, so the white highlights of his nose are kind of shapes. So you seek all these little things and try and put them all together. And they're subtle, right? So it's like when we're drawing. Sorry, this little nose kind of gave it a bit of a cartoon look. but but you can see it. So when we do, before I shade or add value to a drawing, I measure, as I measured in the previous video, and then within the measurement, so you can still see some of the measurement lines here, right? And then I outlined all these little shapes, the shadows, the highlights, right? There's a highlight here. Very subtle because she's got a pretty young face, right? But so then you find all the little shapes in there. Seeking the shapes, seeking the measurement helps you get to accuracy. It helps you kind of learn to see the object, all the little shapes within the face and within the nose. So here we're going to do studies of noses. So studies are basically quick sketches to develop your skills. You do several of them. So for instance, I've got these faces. I'm going to create a nice, better looking PDF for you guys to grab so that you can draw these noses or you can find a bunch of your own. The trick with studies is to do several. Expect them to be rough and imperfect because this is where you're going to play and experiment and you're going to develop your skills. Doing equals learning. I can't repeat that enough. I've seen so many posts from people saying they watched all the videos, but they have a hard time getting started. With drawing, the best part about it is all you need to do is get a pencil, paper, a pen even, whatever you've got, marker, and then just start drawing. So you can draw along with these videos. You can pause, you can speed them up, you can go back and, to wherever you need to get more information or to see it again. But gotta do. Okay, so we're gonna do some studies. And step one, block it out. So let's pick a nose. We'll do Meryl Streep's nose here. We'll do her over. Blocking it out means we're going to decide, how much space we want to take up. We want to do like a whole great big nose. I'm going to do a bunch on a page, so I'm going to kind of do it in here. So I'm kind of blocking out the space that I want this nose to be in and the basic shapes. Excuse me. I'm blocking it out. And then step two is refine. And you do that by comparing the shape, basically, one shape to the next. So you can use pieces of paper to help you measure. I'm going to do a little more eyeballing today. Um, and I'm going to move this a little closer. I run my pencil over, get a feel for the actual shape here. So we've got like a interesting teardrop shape. Now you draw lightly. I'm drawing a little darker so that I can make sure you can see it in the video. You can see the structure under her nose here. And it's not that far below this. Can erase where I need because I went a little darker than I'd like. Right here. And there's a... Now the whites are shapes. Now you can barely probably see them, but because her skin is so fine, there's kind of a... I'm just outlining. So in step 2, I refine and I measure. And in doing so, I end up creating a contour drawing. Okay, so then step 3 really kind of depends on the kind of drawing you want to do. If you want to have a refined outline, sketch, drawing, then you can continue to just refine your outlining, or you shade. That means we're adding value. So mine are going to be very quick and very rough. I'm just seeing sort of another shade here that's much lighter. I use this so that I don't smudge when I wipe the stuff away. So I'm seeing this little shape in here. And as you're shading, you can continue to refine. You can always continue to refine. Yeah, and if you think, well, that's better than the last nose you drew, because maybe your last nose looked like that. Or maybe your nose looked a bit like that in your drawing. Well, those are your icons. So this is what you're fighting against, and this is how you fight it. The brain is creating these simplified visions of everything in your head so that you quickly bring it up, right? So looking for all the little shapes will help you combat that and help you not only see what's actually there, but get it on paper. So he's got this curve and this sort of wide bridge. I love people with real character in their faces. So here you can see the cartilage. You kind of see the separation. Some people it's very obvious. Most it's not. If you found this helpful, please subscribe and like and share with anyone who you think might want to draw along with us. Gaga. She's on a three-quarter pose. So, block it out. Okay, so as far as measuring goes, you look at the shape. Like, for instance, I can see that her smile line lines up right here with her at that point in her nose. So you're kind of picking spots. You know, you're measuring shape against shape. There, so what I did there was I took this the length of the tip of her nose to try and get the length here, correct? So I just kind of use that as a sort of measuring device. So that's what measuring means. You're basically using the shapes in front of you to measure against. You can be very precise, or you can be a little more loosey-goosey. That's kind of loosey-goosey. I suggest you go pick some pictures. If noses are a struggle for you, go find some faces online to print them out or draw them from whatever device you have. Just set it in front of you and then draw them. Or you can go and grab this. This is quite dark. You can hardly even see her little nostril in there. I've got a PDF of this on my website so that you can just go print this out. Don't have to spend the time looking for a bunch of images if you don't want to. Now, if you're drawing this or anything else and it's not working out and you're getting frustrated, walk away. Give it a break, an hour, a day, whenever you can come back to it, you will see what's going wrong. You'll see things you were unable to see. And of course, if all else fails, turn it upside down and give it a sketch. Please share with me your work, the noses you've drawn, anything else you've drawn too, and let me know if you have any questions. I love to be here to help, and if you have something specific you want to learn to draw, let me know. We'll get right on that. Next, we're going to do mouths, and it'll be some of these interesting little smiles. We shall see. Please join me.